Now you say you have some independents who are supporting.
There's all in supporting us.
Right? There are some independents who are supporting.
Both
There's-
sides had independents supporting
Now-
them. We had 11 supporting them.
One second now.
And the premise for that is that the governor cannot do it constitutionally.
That's right.
He should not.
That's all that your lordship is to consider. Right.
Correct? Can the governor, correct, on his own, without any disqualification, the speaker can take cognizance that they are disqualified?
Your lordship is right. Absolutely of it is. How does he call Eknath Shinde to administer oath of office?
Sibbal, 55 SS, 44 C, 53 NCP.
That's correct.
Comes to 152.
Yes.
What, minus 30, now, 288 is the number.
Minus 34 went to the governor.
Minus 34.
Yes.
But there were 39 disqualifications.
No, but Malaz, what went to the governor? If the governor is to look at it, then he has to look at 34, Malaz.
Certainly. So 288 minus 34.
39 were in the majority.
So 254,
287 minus 34 is
288, no?
288.
288.
287,
One
one had
passed
passed
away,
away.
Malaz.
So 288 was 287.
Why?
One passed away.
One passed
One
away.
passed
So 287.
So 287 minus 34 is 253.
Yes.
So 253 divided by 2,
2 Malaz. 127.
127.
Yes. They don't have 127.
No, but the point is then the governor will say, if you exclude the people in respect of whom there is an allegation of defection from your side,
We have 127 Malaz in this arithmetic.
how do you have 127?
I'm telling you, Malaz, 54, 44, 15 is 113 plus 14 MLAs, independent MLAs. In small parties is 14.
No, therefore, now look,
In fact, Shiv Sena will be 21.
Mr. Sibbal, look at it this way. 55 plus 44 plus 53 is 152. 152 was your strength.
Yes,
Of the basic three parties which
Yes.
form the government.
yes.
From that, instead of excluding
Plus
30
14, Malaz, there are who are supporting us. Why are you excluding?
Now,
They are independent supporting us.
fair enough. Now, 152 minus 34 also, if you take,
Yeah.
you're down to 118, right?
Yes.
Which is below the 125 mark, right? Now, 127 mark, below the 127 mark. Now, you say you have some independents who are supporting,
There's all in supporting us.
right? There are some independents who are supporting.
Both
There's-
sides had independents supporting
Now-
them. We had 11 supporting
One
them.
second now.
One second. We're trying to look. These examples are only to see what the governor should in a situation. We are just giving.
Well, then how? Malaj is not just what. Did he apply his mind to this issue? Malaj, this is all very well. We are happening in a court of law. But did he apply his mind to this issue?
But Mr. Sibbal, one thing which we cannot therefore discount, the governor has two responsibilities. One, the governor cannot enter into the thicket of disqualification. Two, the governor cannot do anything which seems to protect those who have incurred the wrath of disqualification. There we are with you completely. Equally, what is of concern to us is that the governor, in all these political wranglings and whatever goes on in the polity, there is a very high constitutional principle, which is that whoever is sworn in as the chief minister must ultimately have accountability to parliament and therefore to the people. Otherwise, what we'll be doing is that the defections have two consequences. The defectors have a personal consequence that they get out of the house, that their seats become vacant. But equally, we cannot gloss over the fact that the defection affects the stability of the government itself. And how does the governor, as the head of the state, ignore the consequence of...
Where is that question that arises here, Malaj? Where is that question, please? How does it arise here? How did the governor didn't look at all this, what your lordship were putting to me. Ask for the records. So, Malaj, why go into a hypothetical situation, Malaj? With the greatest respect, Malaj, your lordships have so much experience. Let's not tread into areas which we are not called upon to tread upon. We are here as to how 39 or whatever 34 go to the governor, and the governor recognizes the 34, knowing that they are in the Shiv Sena. There is the leader of the Shiv Sena, they recognizes Uddhav Thackeray, he recognizes the split, and administers an oath of office. How does all this enter into this, into the reckoning here?
As a principle, you are saying that the governor could not have got into it, has not got into it,
Yes,
number one.
yes, it's not, yes.
And the premise for that is that the governor cannot do it constitutionally.
That's right.
He should not.
That's all that
principle
your
you
lordship
say.
is to consider. And I can understand, Mullah, I can understand the situation. There can be another hypothetical, I'm sorry.
So once there is an existing government, according to you,
Yes,
which this was not
That's-
a government formation for the first time.
that's correct.
Then the governor, short of a no confidence vote which is brought on the floor of the House,
Yes.
the governor must ensure that the existing position continues until somebody brings a no confidence vote.
That's the only way. Now your lordships have laid that down. No longer parading, no longer comparing signatures, all that is over. So if they think, if the BJP thought that we had lost confidence, they should have moved a motion.
That is because of Bommai, which said that it's only the floor of the House.
That's correct.
Test and
So you move a no confidence. How do these issues come in at all? There's no discretion.
So
with the-
according to you, as a matter of principle, absent a motion of no confidence,
That's
the
right.
governor must continue with the existing position.
That's correct, because there's an elected government.
All right, we got it. I
Right.
understand what you're
Now, this is much worse, that he recognizes the split and administers the oath of office.
And thereafter, the floor test was subsequently.
Yes,
That is
On fourth,
yes, on fourth,
third or fourth.
including those 39.
But there, so far as speaking for myself, can the governor, correct? Because under the 10th schedule, it is for the speaker to take a decision,
Right.
correct? Can the governor, correct, on his own, without any disqualify, the speaker can take cognizance that they are disqualified?
Your lordship is right, absolutely right, but they are still the Shiv Sena. That question will still have to be answered. What is that? What are the 39? They are still the Shiv Sena. So then he recognizes the split. That's the problem, Mullah. That's why the 10th schedule, that's why the whole paragraph, this is the issue. When 3 was eliminated, it was only for the purposes, deleted, it is only for the purposes, majority or minority, you can't destabilize an elected government. And constitutional morality was the linchpin, Mullah. So Mullah, and that's why I told your lordships, ideally the governor should have said, no further action, get your disqualification decided, then I will see. I told that to your lordships earlier.
But suppose the speaker doesn't decide. Correct?
No,
But listen. Suppose disqualification questions are not decided at all. In the meantime, the governor is satisfied. Correct?
Can't be.
No. On the basis of the material
He
correct?
can't, well, that's not his job. It's the no confidence motion in the House. How is the government satisfaction after election doesn't arise? Well, I'm sorry. As a constitutional principle, it doesn't arise. Don't give that discretion to the governor. You will have toppling governments every other day. First, the ED will go, then the CBI will go, then the governor will exercise discretion, and governments will be toppled. How's the discretion?
It's a speaker versus governor. Speaker versus governor, as I had said. So now the flip side of it is that without any chance for all that to be panned out, the speaker shows over anxiety to take up the matter and immediately disqualify all those who are intending
Well,
to.
the speaker should decide. Your lordships have now said within 3 months. This is the judgment of this court, that within 3 months, speaker must decide. Normally earlier, but latest within 3 months. Justice Nariman's judgment was in
Meghachandra.
Meghanchal matter.
No, I was telling you about the flip side of it is on the one hand, yes, governors over anxiety saying that, okay, you prove the majority.
Right.
On the other hand, we have a speaker exercising that discretion and says, now come on, you immediately show, I will disqualify all of you. So these are the two
But
constitutional
there's
authorities who
one is subject to judicial review, the other is not. Difference is one is subject to judicial review, the other is not.
all are subject to judicial review.
No, Malas. But once a new government is formed, Malas, if he calls for a trust, new government is formed, Malas, what judicial review?
True. Remedy is a different matter. I agree with you that
Yeah.
there is a remedy,
Yeah.
but really speaking, it's there.
And Malas,
What we need to interpret is the scope of the jurisdiction of the governor and the scope of the jurisdiction of the speaker also.
the speaker, of course, the scope of jurisdiction is clear. He has to decide the matter.
Scope and extent.
He has to decide the matter. And Malas,
Into the other.
So really, the governor keeps his hand.
Of it is, how does he call Eknath Shinde to administer oath of office? Yes. Normal, it's not just kindly come to pay
But I'm
paragraph
not saying anything right now, but factually, my learned-
Please.
yes, all right. Factually,
Fact-
made an
fact-
incorrect statement, that there was no input given to the governor. There were 2 letters sent to the governor, which the governor has referred to in a letter to Mr. Uddhav Thackeray before he called for a floor test.
Correct,
So that
absolutely.
there is enough material for the governor to decide that this government was
I
weak.
think my learned friends,
I have to ask the other side. What was the material before the governor on the basis of which he asked Mr. Shinde to form the government?
Mullahs, that's,
One,
Huh.
and particularly when he knew that this was really a breakaway faction of the state.
yes, how does he justify that? The question is, how do you administer an oath of office to Eknath Shinde?
It's all-
Now, Mullahs, I can understand. Mullahs, there's another situation. There are multi-parties, Mullahs. Not just in this case, there's in several states, Mullahs, we have a multi-party system, several parties come together. And Mullahs, suddenly a no confidence is moved. Mullahs, or somebody seeks, and in the meantime, some disqualification petitions are pending. At that stage, the governor doesn't bother about the disqualification petitions. There's a no confidence. These fellows will vote. Kindly see, Mullahs, the consequences. We'll take the 39 to be validly members of the House, not disqualified. Disqualification petitions pending. Move a no confidence motion. Now, they can't move a no confidence motion because the 39 will be subject to the whip. So they know that they don't have majority. Therefore, what do? 39 go to the governor and say that now recognize me. So please appreciate, Mullahs, the way to ensure that the government falls is to move the no confidence. Why did they not move it? They could have, the 39 could have voted, they are members of the legislature. They did not move it because they knew that they are part of the Shiv Sena, subject to the whip. The government will sustain, will not fall. So the only way out was this conspiracy. And that was hatched much earlier. That's how they went to Gujarat and Assam. Having done that, they wrote that letter, which I read to your lordships, Mullahs. I've read that letter that, this present government, the party members are very unhappy with it. We have been not following the ideology of Bala Sahib. All that letter I read to your lordships, Mullahs. And then they go to the speaker. So whether it's majority, minority, it really doesn't matter, Mullahs. So how could the trust vote be called? Trust vote means that you have prima facie lost confidence. Governor knows that this government is not. Why we go into the matter, Mullahs, that the governor will presume that these people will be disqualified? Why do we even presume that? They are qualified till such time as they are disqualified. So move a no confidence.